Hey, hey.
Finish this one.
Yeah.
In the meantime.
Yeah. I need to hurry up. Y'all, we're starting a little early. Just give us a thumbs up if you don't mind when you come in. And we got about 3 minutes before we get started. Tell us where you're from. And we got our producer back today. He's helping us out. There he is.
Where's the yeah, I saw it.
All right. Y'all just say hey and say where you're from right quick. We'll get everything set up here.
Des Moines, Iowa.
Des Moines. Feel that.
Joey T from Vegas.
Las Vegas. We won't say anything about what happens.
Delaware.
Kayak 7 Seas, thank you, buddy. Mentioning everybody hit that like button. Kayak 7 Seas. I may have our video out maybe tomorrow or Sunday, FYI. It was probably good that it took me so long, but I'll give you heads up just before it comes out. I went to North Carolina. Kayak 7 Seas took me on a tour. Almost done with it.
The Whitewater?
No, on the French Broad River. It's a good one. He's did. Don't quote me. I want to say like 84 miles of it over at different times, but that's just about out. But that's very soon.
Dogs are looking through good times, looking for.
Corey, remember Corey?
It's Corey, sure.
Corey made a donation last week.
No kidding.
Woo! Who was that?
I haven't seen Corey in a while.
Corey from Shell Point?
No, from remember his friend Joe?
Dang, Ken, thank you, buddy.
Tarpon? That Corey.
Yeah. Oh my God.
I see
Yeah,
Ken
wow.
threw out a
Disappeared for a while.
Ken Brain.
Catfish Corey? Was it a catfish?
No,
Corey?
that was Catfish Kevin. That's somebody
Kevin.
else.
Okay, all right.
All right, is it 5? Oh, it's 5 o'clock, guys. You know what time it is. Get them beers ready. It's been another challenging week for me, anyways. All right.
Heck yeah.
I'm like a lot of y'all. I've been working, so these beers taste really good.
Wait. What do you think? I haven't been working? Yeah.
Well, I'm just saying.
I'll tell you what, Thursday around Fort Myers, there was a front that came through and it was windy and it wasn't nearly as bad as I anticipated, but I was working trying to keep these boats.
I was worried too. I was glad I had
On the
somebody to
hook.
call when Marty was here. I was calling
You had a
him.
professional boat captain. This guy right here. He could back into a slip like anybody.
Oh my goodness.
My mom was right.
Let's see. We're gonna talk a little bit. Tell you about what's coming up. We're actually moving this weekend. This is the last day at this nice little
I can't
anchorage.
wait, man. I can't wait.
Making progress. Moving on up.
Yep.
We
Like
probably
the
get.
Jeffersons.
I mean, is it about 50 miles roughly?
Not even.
Yeah, but then by the time I move good times, it's probably.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll get another 50 in, and
Well, here's the thing. We're going to do our first lock
yeah, that's cool.
tomorrow.
Nice.
So we got to have things like PFDs. We've got our PFDs lined up because there's a new law that says you have to have one on you while you go through a lock. In our past videos, we have been,
Without.
unadorned. Without, yeah.
Yeah, they didn't require it last time we locked through,
Now they
which
do,
was.
yeah. That's a good thing,
What
you
year
know,
was
like,
that,
you know.
What year was that?
Oh my God, it's been a while. It's been a
Was that
couple of years.
2016?
No, not that long.
Really? When the last video, when we hit rocks.
Seems like yesterday.
Yeah. So I gotta tell you a story, dude. I was on my job, and I had there's this woman I'm working for on this kitchen job. I told y'all, until we jump off in March or April, depending on the weather, and we
Getting
should be
married?
up. No, I'm not getting married.
Okay, good.
So I have to go back and work a little bit, and then come back, ride for a couple of weeks, whatever. So that's been the plan the whole time. So I remodel a whole kitchen in that 2 weeks, and sometime I'll show you this. But anyways, I'm working for a hottie. I mean, she's an absolute hottie, and I've been there now almost going on 2
Trouble.
weeks. Yeah, almost. Yeah, dude, it's trouble. About 2 weeks. Getting towards the end, and I've been wanting to like flirt with her a little bit, and finally I just gonna say something. I just busted out, just wide open. I said, "Girl," I said, "I could really tear that thing up."
Oh my
And
God.
she looked at me. She said, "You think so?" And she just turned around and walked out. So I didn't say much more to her, till the next day. And she come walking back, and I think she was flirting with me. She had on these real tight shorts. And I said to her, I said, girl, I could tear that thing up. And she said, she just smiled, and she turned around and walked off. So last day today, Friday, trying to get out of early. I said, girl, I'm just telling you, I could tear that thing up. And she says, oh, you think so? She said, okay. She's going to call my bluff. I'm going to give you a chance. We go back there in the bedroom. Dude, I am hitting it, knocking the back out of it. Tearing it up.
Come on now.
And then she starts just tapping me on the head. And I'm going at it, and she's tapping me on the head. Kind of get me off distracted. And I'm like, what are you doing? She said, if you tearing that thing up, I'm beating your brains out. That's another good one, Brandon. I know it's a little risque. Good. I hope I didn't offend anybody.
Oh my God.
That was a joke. All right, so we get on some real stuff. Marty.
All right, so you're not getting married.
Not getting married. So we got a sick boat, Marty.
We do have a sick boat.
What do we do with a sick boat, Marty?
What do you do with a sick boat that has been at anchor for a couple of days?
First person who tells us where you take a sick boat. I'll send you a koozie if you ain't already got one. Where'd you get a sick boat from? Where do you take a sick boat?
Glade's Boat Yard. That's where you take it.
We are taking it to Glade's Boat Yard, but I'll give you a hint.
Yeah.
There's something there. You get it?
Yeah. No, there's a joker right here. I don't know what he's talking about.
Somebody's got to get it so we can tell you where we're going.
I'm as confused as you are.
Oh, somebody got it.
Yep.
The dock.
The dock. You take the boat to the dock.
Dock. Well, they got doctor, the docks. Let's see, who was that? What is that?
Schmidt, first one?
What is that name?
Schmidt.
I recently tooted. That's his name, I swear to God. I recently the first one.
I've been tooting for years. And
Y'all look back if that's who I think's the first one. If you don't mind, send me an email to I want a koozie at Mike at michaeljsteen.com, and I'll send you a koozie. Thank you for playing. Yeah, but anyways, we go into a dock.
Yes, we're going to a dock. Tomorrow we go to a lock. It all rhymes.
You're a poet and didn't even know it.
I didn't know it. So we go through a lock tomorrow. Mike has instilled me with confidence, and my mom says that I can handle a lock single-handed with dogs on one motor. No problem. So who am I to say that she did? She's not right. Hi, Mom, if you're out there watching. So we're, tomorrow, both boats, single-handed, are going through Franklin Lock, I believe it is. We may have to go through a second lock. I'm not sure, in order to get to our destination. But it's not like the water moves too much. It's pretty cool. It's part of the adventure. It's part of the loop. It's part of what we're doing. One motor, two motors, it doesn't matter. It should be a lot of fun. I am looking forward to seeing the bottom of my boat. For anybody out there that doesn't know, I have never seen the bottom of Kontiki 3, which you can see through the window right there. That's my boat.
I didn't know that.
I've never seen the bottom of it.
Yeah, I guess we did yours inside, yeah.
The bottom paint was done on my boat just before I bought it by professionals. The paint on the top side was done by amateurs. So whatever, anything about oil-based paint that's on me and the previous owner. But below the waterline was nice. I have maintained it with my wetsuit and my regulator, and I go down and I scrape the bottom. But I've never seen it out of the water, so I'm excited, man. It's gonna happen in a couple days.
Yeah, next week. We're pulling it next week.
Amazing.
Real quick, Jim Ajak, he's a buddy of mine. I went to fire school, I worked the same fire department he did, and he says he has a riddle. I'm gonna tell you what the real riddle is, and then he'll put some other fake riddle. But they call me Mean Steen the Sex Machine. Now we'll see what he says.
Good God.
Good Lord, who is that? Oh, I thought I'd have read Ken's twice. That's good God, man. Who was that? Let's
Mike
see.
DiNardo.
Mike.
A couple brewskis on me. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate that.
Thank you. Cheers, man.
Hopefully we get to have one with you whenever we get in y'all's your area. I appreciate that. All right. Let's see.
All right, we're talking about pulling boats out. What were you were on the story? What happened?
Let's see. Jim Ajack will put it in the comment. I'll let him lie in the
riddle,
comments.
right? A riddle.
Yeah, there's a riddle. He'll do a riddle, I'm sure. But anyways,
I'm interested to know, just like you are. Tell me.
I just told you.
You told me there's a riddle.
Yeah, they call me Mean Steen the Sex Machine.
I don't want to
James
know.
Ajax
I take it back.
What?
James Ajax?
James? Yeah, Jim. Yeah.
It says Lean Steen, the drag queen.
He got the Lean Steen right.
Thank God
He
we
don't
have
know
our own
about no
boats. So I can have a little separation between me and Lean Steen over here.
He's in the book. He's in the book as well. If you
Is that
remember.
right? The second?
Yeah.
Or
First one. He was in the first.
I was in the first one.
Yep, he was in the first one.
That book is good, man.
So yeah, tomorrow morning, guys, we're it's been a nice anchorage. Marty's been here most of the time. Has been since I've been here.
Can I tell a story about fishing?
Got a good fishing, yeah. Check this one out.
All the people out there that fish, I got a story. First of all, let me tell you about the story of my biggest snook. I went out there and I had, anticipation when I launched my kayak and I'm paddling out there and I think to myself,
right?
This is in Tampa, and I think to myself, anything's possible. Just like any day when you put your boat in the water or your kayak in the water, anything is possible. Go out there and I'm tossing lures and doing this and I'm full of anticipation and nothing happens. The day drags on and nothing happens. I'm not catching any fish and I'm starting to feel like, this is not a good day. I'm finally, the sun's going down and I'm working my way back to where I launched from and I can see the creek that I have to go down to get back to my truck. And it's getting closer and closer and I'm realizing I'm on my last couple of casts. And finally, I'm like, I see a tree and I throw it as far as I can, a topwater lure. And I'm thinking it's gonna hit the tree. So I try to grab it and it falls under the branch. And I'm thinking, wow, that was a great cast. Twitch, and boom! Like this, it looked like the head of a dog came out of the water and grabbed my lure. And it's just peeling drag and I feel the blood rushing out of my body and I'm freaking out and there's an adrenaline rush and I reel it up to, I know puppies, I'm sorry. I reel it up to my kayak and it's the biggest snook to this date that I've ever caught. And it was on almost the last cast. And it, to this day, gives me goosebumps. It was a great day. Here's the opposite of that story. The other day, I'm on the boat. It's been 2 days now. It's early in the morning. It's foggy. I throw a lure from this spot where we're at, anchored right now. Very first cast, I'm working a bait back to the boat. And then just as it's right near the boat, I glance down and something grabs it and pulls it so hard, it breaks and all the line drapes all over me because I'm like, oh my God. The leader was broke. My lure is gone. And I'm thinking to myself, holy crap, there's fish here. I didn't think there was, I thought Fort Myers was dead. It was devoid of fish. First cast, early in the morning, no cameras going or anything. I'm like, okay, all right, time out. We run inside, get the camera, set it up, throw a topwater lure. I'm thinking, if they're that aggressive that they're gonna catch something or pull something on the first lure, on the first cast, anything will work. Topwater over here, topwater over there, topwater over there, nothing. Okay, maybe they want a crankbait. Run inside, grab another rod with a crankbait on it, I throw it over there, I throw it over here, I throw it over there, nothing. Maybe they want the same lure. I have one of those somewhere. I go and dig it out, I tie it on, I throw it out there, I throw it out there, nothing. Maybe that school of fish has moved. I get in the bass raider, I go around for them. I'm throwing over here, I'm throwing over there, all morning. Eventually I'm like, there's nothing out here. That was like an anomaly or something. Later that afternoon, I still got that itch. I'm like, there's something out there. Throw it over here, throw it over there, nothing. that night. Go back to fishing, nothing. I'm like, I hate fishing. I hate it. That's the difference between going all day and catching nothing and catching something at the end of the day versus that first cast, you get something. That's a bad sign.
So which is better?
At the end of the day, absolutely. You got to end on a good note. If you go out fishing and your very first cast you catch something, or you almost catch something, bad news. Just turn around, go back home, go knit a sweater, do something, go, put a roof on your shed, do whatever it is that's productive, because you're going to waste your time, as I have. I've been in this anchorage for 3 days, at least. 4 days? After that first, holy moly, there's a fish there that just stole my lure. I have cast, I don't know, 100 times, 200 times. I got nothing. That's the worst kind of fishing ever, ever, ever. So that's my fishing story. I'm hanging it up. I'm not gonna fish anymore. I'm gonna start a sewing channel, just like I've been threatening to do.
Threatening?
Talking about cross threading and like cross stitching and crocheting maybe, because I can't fish with that.
It's gonna get good when we get to the East Coast.
I hope.
Brandon, when you guys come through Georgia, should you go to St. Simon's Sound, take a look at the MV Golden Ray cargo ship overturned in St. Simon's Sound would be a good place to do a meetup.
Okay.
Send me a email to mike@michaeljsteen.com and mention that. That's a good one. On that, I know a lot of people are concerned about Rona, and we are too. So we do like outside venues. That's why we tried to do the last meetup. We will try to do outside venues. I'll have hand sanitizer in my pocket. I believe that's where it's passed. Here in Florida, I know a lot of people. There's some negative comments, and if you get too brash, I'll just delete you out of the channel, because I've seen like a couple people attacking the other people.
Yeah,
no need for that. But
whatever.
We are aware of that, and we try to be as social. But things I got to tell you are a little different here in Florida compared to a lot of other states. So.
And honestly, everybody's in charge of their own.
That's right.
Being. If you go to a meeting and people are not wearing masks and you're not cool with that, you need to get away.
Yeah.
And if everybody else is cool with it, then you need to respect their freedom to be like that.
Yeah, and if you want to wear a mask, absolutely no problem.
No problem.
Because we've actually met quite a few people who do wear their mask.
Sure.
And we're not going to, make fun of them, but shouldn't be making fun of them.
You know what? I've also met a bunch of people that still smoke cigarettes, which is, I smoked cigarettes for 2 decades, and it's terribly bad for you and the people around you, and yet it's still a freedom in this country, and you should have freedom to do what the hell you want. I'm sorry, man.
That's true.
You know what? If Corona is a problem for you, and we have a meetup, you can wear a mask, and we'll distance, and we'll provide you every thing that we can do for you. But you know what? We're also going to live our lives, and
no doubt,
to a degree of risk, which is
acceptable to us.
It's acceptable for living your life.
Good old boy says, and then anything you got, I'd pick a jump off spot that doesn't have a ton of restrictions with Rona, like New York has right now, or jump off.
New York is changing though.
Yeah.
I saw something on Facebook yesterday from my friends in New York that said, well, Biden's president now, so all of a sudden it's no more, you can do whatever you want because he's secured his position and is no longer against Trump. So
he's got, good old boy's got a little confused. Our jump off is we're following the weather. So where actually I get on the boat and stay, and then we stay on the boat and we go north is from around Charleston. And that's about March or April, depending on the weather. And we're going to stop in New York. We keep repeating it because some people don't hear it, or whatever. Right. Marty's got, both of these have people there in New York, and we're going to winter 2021 somewhere in the New York area. So the good thing about that is a whole winter before we come back to the boat. And my guessing is by then Rona won't be such a big deal.
No, I have for real or for fake or for whatever. I don't believe it'll be in people's conscience anymore. On a more bright note, if we can, please. I mean, I talked to Pelican today, and they're cool with some plans we have in South Carolina. They want me to go and pick up a brand new boat, a kayak that's pedal driven, and around that area there's good fishing. There's all kinds of good things. I foresee a lot of good stuff coming up in our future, man.
Yep. Robert Cox, what's up, buddy? One of my people down from.
Your phone is doing something. I'm gonna poke people right here.
Yeah,
People are saying it's vibrating.
It's vibrating.
Is it?
It's probably Jack sending me.
Come on, AJ.
Inappropriate text.
Inappropriate text.
Let's see. Thank you, Jack, though, for saying that. I didn't realize it was doing that.
Yeah. And you know what? You know what? I want to end the coronavirus conversation with what concerns my mom had. My friend Adam, who I've known since I'm 5 years old as well. And there's many things that you do in life that are risky. You know, you have relationships with partners in a sexual way when you're growing up, and you think to yourself, what I'm doing is risky. If you've driven a car and you're on the road and you're speeding, you're risking yourself and others. There's every single day, almost all of us take risks. And I want to say that in the grand scheme, I think Mike and myself are on our boats, and we're forced to be socially distancing. If this pandemic is real, it's obviously not Ebola Zaire, which has like a 90% kill rate. If it is clearly something that is contagious and should be, considered, but I've looked at numbers of people that died on the Census Bureau and stuff, and it doesn't look like this is something that should cause people to really, really freak out. But regardless, I get it. We're doing our part, and part of that is just really on a daily basis. I think you and I are a lot further away than most of the people that are out there watching. It doesn't mean that if I was in that certain scenario, if I was living in Brooklyn, I'd still be a jerk walking around without a mask, and maybe I would get it.
AO1 1968. Good luck, gents. You got this. Thank you so much. Looks like a beer fun.
Thank you.
I'm gonna start rolling y'all's names on my videos, because we appreciate people that donating towards us. Y'all know it's expensive, and getting this whole thing going.
I don't know how to say thank you to enough people.
Yeah, and we want to bring people. We want to fish with you, meet with you. Mm-hmm. That's how we're gonna. That's about all we can do. Also, Dan, Mike has a groupie named Ken, and he's looking for a good time.
Oh,
Ken's one of our best friends, and he'll be coming to Good Times, I guess, a little over a week now. As soon as we get Kontiki running, he's gonna come. He'll be the first person on to show y'all the opportunity that you can come. There is a cost associated with it. It helps us to keep going, but it'll be way cheaper compared to any other boat rides. I think Marty said it'll be $175 a day. Like Marty said, the average captain for 4 hours down here, anyways,
between $400 and $600.
$600.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, he's like, "All right, see you, bye."
Yeah. $175 a day. We'll provide dinner. We'll provide the food.
Yeah.
And all the jokes. I got all the jokes you can take. Don't worry.
Oh my God.
But thank you, y'all, for the.
I'm gonna be on Kontiki, socially distancing while you're making jokes.
Yeah.
I like his jokes. I'm kidding.
Hey, what you got there, Rich? Don't mean to be doing your job here, man.
That New Yorker accent.
I bet that's gonna come out more closer we get to New York. Who was the guy like Steve from last week?
Yeah.
There was 2 New Yorkers, and it's coming out.
Oh man, yeah. The closer we get to New York, New Yorkers get a bad rap too. Like, I went there on vacation once. We went to a beverage distributor, And we walk in, there's a guy on a high-low, and he's moving pallets of soda around, and he sees us walk in, he immediately shuts it down and walks up to us. He's like, hey, how you guys doing? What's up? Can I help you with something? You need beer? You need soda? I can help you with anything. And I'm like, oh my God. I'd been living in Florida for 10 years where people are like, honey, I'll be right with you. And maybe 15 minutes later, they walk up and they're like, all right, what can I help you with? Not in New York. In New York, they're like, hey, what are you doing? Hey, I'll help you out, you know? And this guy hooked us up with beer and everything. We paid, and he was like, can I help you carry it out to your car or anything like that? And we're like, nah, we're good. He's like, all right, you guys have a good day, all right? And he gets back on his forklift and he starts doing back his job again. And I walked out of there thinking to myself, holy crap, I'm back in New York. And from that day forward, I was talking to my friends. I'm like, hey, you believe this guy over here on this high-low, he helped us out. That's the misconception, is that people are pushy in New York. They're just looking to help you out.
These two right here, they get that. It starts coming out when they get to talking. I like it. I think it's funny.
And if I may, I don't want to make this too long, but when I was growing up, I was in the family car, and my dad would always try to tell me to talk right. Okay, I'd say to my dad things like, "I'm gonna hang out with my friends. Is that okay tonight?" And he's like, "What? I'm gonna? What kind of word is that?" He says, "Speak right. Say, I'm going to hang out with my friends tonight." And I was, all right, I'm going to hang out with my friends tonight, Dad. Is that okay? And he's like, yeah, all right. Just, call us if you're going to spend the night. So he was always strict on my pronunciation. Well, one day we're traveling in the family car, and I look out, and there's a bus next to us. And on the bus is a big advertisement with a tagline that says, in the tagline of the product, it was like 7-Up or Mountain Dew or something, and Gonna was a word used in the tagline. And I'm like, Dad, and I'm poking him. He's like, what? I'm like, look, gonna. See, I told you it was a word. He's like, that's not a word. But I, for the most part, that's my default setting because of my upbringing, thanks to my dad, where he told me, you got to speak properly, and I would hide my accent for a long time after I moved to Florida. You get better treatment at places like, if you're going to buy hay, or, when my cousin had farm animals, I had to buy scratch for his chickens. And you're like, hey, how's it going, man? You got some scratch for my chickens? And they're like, yeah, no problem, man. We'll take care of you. So people take care of you better if you have a little drawl, and it has become part of who I am. However, there's the seed inside me that's from Brooklyn. So when I go back,
it'll come.
Sorry, Dad, but I say things like gonna, and I'm like, forget about it.
But do y'all say fixin' up there?
Fixin', no.
Fixin'.
No, we don't say fixin' in Brooklyn.
Fixin', like I'm.
You need to get that out of your lexicon.
I'm fixing to go to the store.
No.
Are we fixing to get underway?
No, I'm gonna go to the store. Yeah, I don't even want to talk. My Brooklyn mouth is dirty.
What you got?
Anything? People just listening?
Marty, aren't you a veteran? What branch did you serve in?
Yeah, right. But this here, they wouldn't have me anywhere.
Fixing is a southern thing.
Fixing is absolutely
no doubt about it. Hey, Long, seriously, St. Simon's, Jekyll, Brunswick, also known as Golden Isles, is a great place to hang. Marinas have plenty of slips and just anchor out. Lots of boaters and kayakers.
Yeah.
It's funny you say that. I was just coming back from the mountains a couple of weeks ago, and I was pointing out to my daughter on the map, and that whole area is absolutely beautiful. It's a lot different from Florida. It changes just as you start getting above Jacksonville or what have you. So I'm looking forward to being up there. That's going to be so cool. For the viewers, you'll get to see things change. It's going to change a good bit. Yeah. So that's really cool.
Right here is Sweetwater Landings. We're still there. We leave tomorrow, obviously. But there's a tree in the parking lot in Sweetwater. It looks like a cabbage palm that is growing out of a tree. It's the weirdest thing I've ever seen. I've got it on camera. I'm going to put it in my next video. Around the corner, there's an island. It's called Havens Island. And that's where I take the dogs to do their business. And there, is a palm tree, same palm tree, and it's the beginnings of what is happening at Sweetwater Landings. There's a vine that comes up and wraps itself around this tree and eventually envelops it. So we're at the top of this tree is the palm tree. It looks like two trees had an accident at 50 miles an hour and became one. And I couldn't understand how it happened until I went around the corner and let the dogs do their thing. And I marveled at it. It's amazing. And it's a difference between Tampa and here, which is 100 miles. And we're going to do 6,000 miles, which means we're going to see all kinds of things that are going to make us marvel. And I will be aware of all of them. Trees, plants, fish, people, marinas. I'm sure that we're going to see a lot of different things coming up. I'm glad there's people out there that are going to point them out to us too.
Yeah. Again, I just pinned Mike at michaeljsteen.com. If you have, this is something I always forget to say, but we're also looking to meet people that have unique superpowers. Reach out to us with what your thing is, especially if it's got anything to do with water. It's good content for us to share, bring y'all, meet up with you.
Sure.
So I pinned that. Any questions? If you want to do a meetup, that is the way to. I have a folders on my computer in each state. I'll reach out to everybody in them folders. So if you have a unique place to meet up with us, send me an email. I can't keep up with it on here. It's good to say it. We might talk about it, but that is the definitive way to make sure that we, do a meetup or something like that.
When my YouTube channel was starting to up and come, and I couldn't keep up with things like that. Somebody described to me it was as if you're an NFL player and you're running down the sidelines, go Bucks, and you catch the ball and you just keep going. You don't stop and say, "Hey, did you see that? I caught that. That was pretty cool," because you're gonna get smashed. Whatever you're doing is really resonating with people or it's working, you catch the ball and you keep running and you don't look back. You just got to keep it going. So.
Ken, another shout out to Ken, another $50. Boy, you the man, ain't no doubt about that. Cheers, Mike and Marty. Excellent show. See you soon in the pubs. Absolutely. Kathy says, no third person. There is actually a third person. Rich is our producer, we call him.
Can you come up and can you show your face?
Yeah,
No, he's ugly. That's why he's off.
No, yeah. You hear him?
Come on up and say so
hello.
You can see, because he put his hand out there. A little closer.
Yeah.
Little closer. But he does. He helps us. He follows the questions, and if I miss them, and it's true. I am looking at a computer here, so I can read this little thing here, so I can catch some of the questions. And Rich usually tries to call out stuff that I miss. That's important. For somebody.
Rich and I have been friends for a long time now.
20 years now.
Oh my God. Time flies, man. Time flies, and that's why no matter what the adversity is, you gotta live a little bit. You gotta throw some risk every once in a while.
Hendrick Langing is cold in Potsdam, and it's snowing. I would like to be in Florida. I hear you, brother. I don't know how people live in those snow states. You see that, don't you? This is the tire of the day, and that's why some people kid us and say, "Oh yeah, you wait till you get up north." No, it's going to be warm when we get up north.
Yeah,
and if we're cutting out.
It is, one of my favorite documentaries was a guy that lived in Alaska, and he was freezing cold, and he said when he got down to the lake and the humidity went up, it got biting cold. And this is a dude that was in 40 below in the winter in Twin Lakes, Alaska. So humidity definitely plays a factor, and it is humid in Florida. In the summer, in the winter, it's humid here. So I've gone up to places like Montreal, Canada, dressed like this, like a moron, in a t-shirt and jeans, and got out of the airport, and it's freezing cold. And I'm okay, for a little while at least, because it's not humid. So there's differences. And I spent many years on a rooftop here in Florida. And like I brought an oven thermometer with me once, and it actually started to move, which means it was 120-ish on a rooftop with stucco in a corner resonating on these Spanish tiles. It was so hot. All you people making fun of me being cold probably would have died on the spot. And yet I endured it for 10 years. And that made my blood very thin.
Yeah.
And that's how I deal with
I tell you,
heat.
my future is to be out of Florida during the heat, like from August till
rough,
September. Man. It is brutal.
Yes.
Here's the thing. Here's when I can't take it anymore on the water. And I don't boat down here in the summer. Pretty much after the Keys trip.
Don't boat.
I don't boat, meaning I don't stay on the boat or go boating.
I thought you meant you don't vote.
No, I don't boat.
Okay.
Because when the water gets above 85 or 90 as it does down here, you can't even cool off. It's so hot, the humidity, it's just miserable. I like boating in wintertime. And my understanding, and from a little bit of experience, is the waters are cool up there. So I look forward to being up there.
We have boated. There's video evidence.
But the water was still in the 80s and low 80s.
Yes,
it wasn't in the 90s.
Okay,
yet.
Right.
And then down by the Keys, because of the Gulf Stream and all, it's a little cooler. But it does eventually, at the end of the summer, reach those 90s. It's miserable. It is miserable. Kathy said, it's too bad I can't show you a picture of the western North New York right now. It has snowed all day. I love snow for about a minute.
Yep. I made an igloo once. More than once. You know what it's like in an igloo? Warm. It's oddly warm when you get out of the wind and you're surrounded by snow. It can be above freezing in a house made of frozen water. I have done that.
Hey, Ken said something important. I hadn't actually had a chance to put it up. I've been extremely busy like everybody else. But I'm going to this weekend. Anybody, and you're going to see on Mike at michaeljsteen.com.
Get it right.
Under the store, all right, at the store, you can go on there and you have to choose a minimum of 3 days. It's $175 a person, and you can come aboard. It's up to you to get here. We'll pick you up at a dock to be determined and then drop you off. That's why I said it has to be a minimum of 3 days or it's not worth doing it. But if you go on there, you pay for 1 day, reach out to me, we pick your date, and you can come along. We will be accepting people as of, based on what happens with Contiki. Contiki's got to be running. But basically, hopefully by the end of next week or the first of the following week. And then you're welcome to come. We're going to cross Lake Okeechobee and then go through St. Lucie and start going up the East Coast.
I will say this. The good news is, despite the fact that things can happen that prevent that from coming to fruition.
Right.
It could be weather. It could be so many things. We're hoping for the best where we can invite folks on our boat. It is a genuine wish from Mike and myself. But I will add to that the fact that anything can happen. So many bad things can beset us that make us not able to do this. But that is a wish that we want this to happen.
Well, I've thought about this and I haven't went into explained it. We'll do it more in videos like when the first person's here. But if something happens, obviously, to our boats and we can't get you here because our situation, we'll refund the money. So that's not a problem. But but basically buying that first day locks you in and tells me you're serious and you want to come and all that.
Where I was going with that is the good news is that all of you guys watching us can join us regardless of that.
Yeah. Yep.
We're going to continue to make live at fives like this, and I'm going to continue to put a lot of content out there because it's coming fast and furious, and that's the good news.
Yep.
Is that if you follow these channels, you get to live with us, even if you're not here in person. So,
all right. So that's
thank you for everybody.
Yeah, thank you very much. So that leaves us. So we may or may not do a live at 5 tomorrow. Some people excuse me, some
First
people,
day to going through a lock.
some people can't catch them on the weekdays, and people have asked, can you do them on Saturday? If we're available, we'll do them. But we're trying to do them Monday, Wednesday, and Friday when I'm aboard on good times.
And that's us grabbing the ball that the Hail Mary pass that we
Yeah.
happen to catch, and we're running down the field, and we also do a live as we're doing that.
Yeah.
If you're there for that,
We-
awesome.
We've
But-
done them in the back of a truck before.
Yeah, but we're running down a sideline and we're avoiding being tackled many times.
Yeah.
So when things happen, they happen.
As a rule, I always do a live earlier and say, hey, there's going to be a live today. Once I'm on the boats full time and we're moving, we'll do them religiously Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, unless something bad happens. But
Even then,
yeah, well, that's right. We will. Sometimes those make the best.
that's when we
The
got to
best
grab
live.
the camera and say, look
Yeah,
at us,
look
look at
at
how
that.
stupid we are.
Yeah.
And you guys will be there to tell us how stupid we are too.
You got anything else, Rich?
You guys are going around the eastern tip of Long Island?
That's to be determined,
Yeah.
I guess.
We need a place to bring our boats out. We need to figure out how to winterize boats.
It's gonna be a great set of videos right there.
It's going to be a tremendous learning curve for us, so it's impossible to say.
So if you were in the what area did you say? The south side of Long Island? Your buddy or whatever?
Bay, something.
Somewhere right on the south.
You're the navigator.
Yeah, somewhere on the southwestern end of Long Island he has a friend there. We're gonna
Yes.
try to haul out there, winterize there. Although it's my understanding, and I don't know, I never winterized there. That's getting Long Island a ritzy kind of area.
There's a lot of marinas. There's a lot of boats in the water, so that competition might keep the prices down.
Good.
But also, I think it's salty enough so that it doesn't freeze over. So you're able to keep it in the water throughout the winter. So
It's gonna be interesting. We'll see.
I don't
And
know.
we'll see.
I'm looking forward to finding out just like you guys.
I am too, and we're gonna do videos on it. That's part of the channel is
Yeah.
teach as much as we can.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people out there that know all about this,
Yes.
and
And as flippant as I am about COVID, there's a real thing up there too, because
yeah,
people have told me they're like, as of very recently, today or yesterday, they have lifted restrictions for wearing masks and what's closed and what's open.
no, I don't think mass is what's
But
What's open,
yeah,
yeah.
you can go to marinas now, and quarantines might be lifted, and all of that affects us. Whether it doesn't matter if you believe in it or not.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
these things are outside of our control.
Yeah.
We can back our boats into marinas and slips, and whether or not we're allowed to do that is outside of our control.
But and also, like as you'll see, we'll stop at a public dock, and we'll have a meetup at a public dock where
Okay.
there's no, there's a lot of places. So I don't,
Yeah.
we'll work
I
around
prefer
that.
to be able to meet people and hang out and be
Yeah.
merry and drink beer.
One more here before we let you go. Mega London 32. Wish I could meet you guys. I'm stuck in Ocala, disabled. Have fun, boys, and be safe. Thank you for that. We're gonna consider that drinking a beer with you
Thank you.
for that super chat.
Just the words alone, like disabled and
If you can ever get over
People who
to the East Coast though, when we're coming, just cause you're disabled, if you have a cart or whatever, there are docks that we can pull up to. You may not be able to get on, and that depends.
that's
Because that'd be a challenge I'd be willing to take.
Yeah.
But
I knew a friend named Stan who had a 13-year-old. He had just had a birthday, and his son was terribly disabled and was in a chair. And he contacted me once, and he's like, "Dude, can we come see you?" And he did. And Stan, your son Sebastian will forever be in my brain, because we got him on board with we brought his wheelchair aboard, and we brought his son aboard, who could not speak, They had to feed him. He was 13 years old, man. Sebastian was having a hard time in life, and yet we got him out on the boat. And when I was underway and I throttled the motors, Sebastian would light up and giggle, and I know I made a difference in that kid's life. So if we can do it for him,
Yeah.
we can do it for you, man.
You're in Ocala, so we're going to try to spend a little bit of time in St. Augustine. I know all of the city docks have public ramps and places where you can definitely get down near the water.
It's about what people are comfortable to do.
Yeah. And if we can get you close, we can probably even get you home. And that's a challenge I would take.
Yeah. I'm looking forward just to the simple things, though, meetups at marinas and stuff where we can just click a beer and fist bump or shake hands, whatever is appropriate.
Scott Graves asked, he's in Oklahoma. He was asking about the meetup. My website is the place to send an email, or mike@michaeljsteen.com is pinned here at the top to tell us what state you think you can meet us in. I have folders on there, and I drop you in that folder. When we get close to that state, we're going to send out emails and say, hey guys, this is where we planned on doing meetups. Try to give you as much. We're getting close, but that's really the best way for us to organize it. So yes, that is the way to do it. There's another one. Kathy said she's disabled and kayaks. My legs are bad, but my arms work. I even got a 73-year-old disabled mother into a kayak.
Nice.
Kathy, where are you from? I see. Obviously, I see your.
That's inspiring.
That is inspiring.
Yep. Yeah, my friend Mark, who has been helping me with finding parts for my motor, has one arm. At the age of 18, he lost it in an accident, and he is one of the most positive people I've ever met. And when I bring him stuff, and I don't know what to do with it, and he is able to wrench it into a position where it works. I can't tell you how inspiring it is. So it's really your mindset. Can you do this or can you not do this? And people who can and people who do are inspiring to me. So
that's good stuff.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we're gonna be wrapping it up because we're moving tomorrow.
Yes. We got stuff to do.
We got one more here. We got to.
What's for dinner?
What's for dinner? Damn, dog, man, we so busy. I ain't even thought about it. I hope Martin's got something.
I got Franks and beans.
Franks and beans, it looks like. I actually didn't bring anything. My freezer, I didn't put anything in the freezer, so Marty uses my freezer while I'm gone.
Maybe we can get 3 people in the Bass Raider and we can go to Sweetwater Landings and have a dinner.
Yeah, Sweetwater sounds. So you're going to see this here in just a second because I'm going to show you another bin. And y'all know about these bins, and here's one.
I'm going to get bent too.
I actually have been around this bin just a little bit. I'm going to flip y'all around here. Stand by so I don't poke you. So I'm actually have been around this bin right here. But right over there is Sweetwater. Y'all see that to the right? Sweetwater Landing. Yeah, we probably will try to go over there for dinner, but there's a bin right there. Tomorrow, guys, we're going to make that bin right there. And okay, I do know what's around it, but
what's around the bin?
I know what's around the bin, and I know what it's going to be. It's going to be a good time.